Hello, Ozarks. I'm Daniel Posey, and on today's segment of Volunteer Ozarks, we're in Branson at Elevate Branson. And joining us right now is the founder, Brian Stallings. Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
You bet. Thank you for having me.
So you're a very busy guy.
I am a little bit busy, yeah.
Right before we started recording, you took me on a tour of Elevate Branson. We talked about all the different resources that you provide, and it's a lot. You guys do so much here, a lot that I just found out about today. Let's talk a little bit about that. How would you describe Elevate Branson to those who may be unfamiliar with it?
Well, I would describe it just like our mission statement right here on the wall, that really we're trying to elevate our community, and we do that by empowering our neighbors. And who's our neighbor? Everyone, right?
Yeah.
We want to empower our neighbors to reach their full potential, and really that's how I would describe it. So we're not just a social service agency, we're so much more than that, right? One of the issues that we have in Branson is a lack of workforce, and so we're addressing that as a agency here in town.
Hi, this is Janice with the Victim Center.
I'm a survivor of domestic violence. When I first went through it, I really didn't have anybody to talk to, and I didn't identify myself as a victim of violence. I blamed myself for a lot of it. I did what most victims do. I started reaching out to different entities and looking at what they did and realizing how important the work that the Victim Center does is for victims like myself, who at the time didn't understand, who didn't know where to begin, because your life has fallen apart, and all of a sudden you're trying to figure out how to navigate a completely different world. That is why what Victim Centers does is so important to me.
You've changed things quite a bit because of not being able to come into this art room, but rather you've been making videos at home. What has that been like?
A lot of these kids do have phones that they're able to access a video. So on Facebook, through the Rare Breed site, they could go to that site, listen to me talk about a project, maybe a drawing project. A lot of people watch the videos maybe just to laugh at the videos rather than to learn anything about art. But I hope at least one or two kids picked up those packets and gave the art lesson a try.
Even during the pandemic, you ended up taking the resources that you had and you gave back.
I just didn't want to lose that contact with them. You know, I wanted them to know that I still cared about them, even though I wasn't face to face. I gave it a good shot.
It's been incredibly vital to have the National Guard support at our food bank. So back in April, when COVID first started to hit, we had to temporarily shut down our volunteer program to make sure to keep everyone safe in our area. Thankfully, when the National Guard came in, we were able to take them and help us sort food, because we sort more than 98,000 pounds of food per week.
I've been deployed twice, been to multiple countries with the Missouri Guard, but this is our hometown mission. This is what's most important right now. If we're just talking food bank support, statewide we have a little over 100 personnel helping with food bank support. Just since January, this team has pushed out nearly 1 million pounds of food and over 5,300 families served. That's huge.
That's incredible.
Just with a team of 13.
Today, we're looking to serve about 125 families with over 12,000 pounds of food. So as we're continuing through the pandemic, we're still trying to get as much food as possible out there to make sure people don't have to make the choices between paying for food, paying for utilities, or paying for prescriptions.
This is the first of this type of mission we've had, a pandemic, and the food bank mission is just a very small part of that. The Missouri National Guard, they're also doing vaccination support. Last year they were doing site tests all over Missouri, food bank support all over Missouri. The Missouri National Guard has really stepped up, but we couldn't do it without our state and local partners, Food Harvest being one of those.
My mom saw the activity online.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to do that. I rode on my bike and I had the signs in my bag and I had some tape and I taped it onto like poles and trees. I made multiple.
And what did it say?
It said we should pick up our trash, try to help our earth be a good place. If we get a lot of pollution, then our water and air wouldn't be good, and then we wouldn't be able to like breathe and drink the water that we need to survive.